Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time, and wow, do I have a breaking news announcement for you folks. What I'm about to report to you is major breaking news because what I'm about to report to you is a public announcement from a major individual from within the Republican Party, the number three House Republican, a major announcement which now is going to sway a lot of additional Republicans, a lot of additional individuals in the Republican Party from both the House and the Senate to support her position because they can now take cover behind her position. This is major news as far as Donald Trump's impeachment is concerned. It doesn't matter to me whether you're a Donald Trump supporter or not, although at this point in time, I can't see why you would be a Donald Trump supporter. While Donald Trump he stood by and he watched things happen at the Capitol. But hey, whatever floats your boat. But at this point in time, more and more Republicans are coming out against Donald Trump, and you have to listen to the statement from the number three House Republican, and this will give cover to other House Republicans and Senate Republicans because the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said that he supports impeachment, as he should. Donald Trump is. Many individuals have called Donald Trump the worst president in the history of the United States because he stood by while people were in danger, and that is a fact. If you look at the timeline of events, you would have to be sticking your head under the sand to not recognize the fact that Donald Trump stood by while a lot of individuals were under threat. But now let's take a look at strong comments where the Republicans said that this was the greatest betrayal by the president of the oath of office, of which I 100% agree. Let's just jump into this important piece of breaking news from Ignition Time. So, folks, here's the breaking news. Wyoming Congresswoman, the number three House Republican, Wyoming Congresswoman, and House Republican Conference Chair Liz Cheney from Wyoming, again, Wyoming Congresswoman and House Republican Conference Chair Liz Cheney released this statement ahead of the impeachment vote that is scheduled to take place tomorrow on the floor of the House. This is a very, very, very strong statement, and it is the most public rebuke of Donald Trump by a powerful Republican in the House of Representatives. So I will actually show you this statement on your screen right now. Here it is. On the 6th of January, a violent mob attacked the United States Capitol to obstruct the process of our democracy and stop the counting of presidential electoral votes. This insurrection caused injury and a lot of damage, death, and destruction, the most sacred space in our republic. Folks, I just want to be clear. I understand there are viewers and subscribers. For us, it's about money. It's about quick cash. It's about trying to put food on the table. It's about trying to make rent, try to pay our bills. And here we have a major crisis, and it's very clear that Trump did not take the actions he should have. And Liz Cheney says so. She says much more will become clear in coming days and weeks. And again, let me just stop right here. I think that those who still support Donald Trump don't understand the full impact of what happened. They either don't understand it or they refuse to understand it because they've been brainwashed by Donald Trump. That is what I believe, because what Donald Trump has done has brainwashed individuals into believing that he tried to do something. He did not do anything. He stood by and watched this happen. So let's get back to Liz Cheney's comment. Much more will become clear in coming days and weeks. But what we know now is enough. The President of the United States summoned this mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. Everything that followed was his doing. Okay, pretty strong comments, everybody. Everything that followed was his doing. Wow, none of this would have happened without the president. The president could have immediately and forcefully intervened to stop the violence. He did not. There has never been a greater betrayal by the president of the United States of his office and his oath to the Constitution. I will vote to impeach the president. There you have it, everybody. Comments from Liz Cheney, who's a Wyoming Congresswoman, House Republican Conference Chair from Wyoming. She's the number three Republican, and I can tell you, everybody, that this is going to give a lot of cover, a lot of cover to Republicans who were hesitant initially, and just incredible. Keep in mind that this is Dick Cheney's daughter, and again, this is going to provide a lot of courage, if you will, to other Republicans, both in the House as well as the Senate, to say, hey, we'll we'll try and we'll try and make this happen, and we'll try and support the impeachment process. Keep in mind the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who's currently the Senate Majority Leader, is also supporting the impeachment process. And if Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell were to back impeachment, barring and stopping future runs of Trump, you can there is a path to 67. If the Senate Majority Leader decides to back that, then there is a path to the two-thirds majority in the United States Senate. This has never happened before. This has never ever happened before in the history of the country. Now, keep in mind, for the 1% of supporters of Trump who still stand behind Trump, despite what this happened, all I can tell you is that this channel is not for you, and you and I will never see eye to eye, because what happened was unbelievable. What happened was unacceptable. I denounce it. And if you still think that you want to support Trump, please don't let the door hit your behind on the way out from this channel. Don't let the door hit your behind on the way out from this channel, because what has happened is unacceptable. I think we should denounce it, and we should voice our opinion forcefully, because what has happened is unacceptable, and it is unbelievable, and it is un-American. Now, keep in mind, there are a lot of supporters of Donald Trump who essentially are not happy, but they are I would say a majority are intelligent, peaceful people who recognize that, look, this ship has sailed, let's move on. But if you're part of that small minority that thinks that, hey, this still makes sense, then I don't know what to tell you. I think that you should just unsubscribe from this channel. Let's get back to the news here. Again, if Mitch McConnell backs impeachment, then the Senate would convict Trump. And keep in mind, Richard Nixon resigned before he was impeached. So there have been 3 previous trials: Donald Trump in 2019, and then there was Bill Clinton in 1998. So they were not convicted in the Senate. But again, her statement is major. There has never been a greater betrayal by the President of the United States of his office and his oath to the Constitution. And so I think she's doing the tough thing. She's doing the right thing. And this is a big change, everybody. I have to tell you that this is important news. This is breaking news, because the approach of the Republicans towards impeachment, with the support of Liz Cheney, keep in mind, she's the number 3 Republican, everybody. So who's the number 1 Republican in the House? Kevin McCarthy, the Republican from California. Number 2 is Steve Scalise, and number 3 is Liz Cheney. So Liz Cheney is actually supporting the impeachment of the president. In the meantime, I can confirm that President-elect Biden is now mapping out his contingency plans to install secretaries in most, if not all, cabinet positions, in case they are unable to get the backing of the Senate by the 20th of January, because the country is pulled into this ongoing craziness. And Biden is expected to announce his economic stimulus plan on Thursday in 48 hours. It's likely to include $2,000 stimulus checks, extensions of unemployment insurance, money for vaccines, money for city, states, and childcare. So there's an emerging stimulus plan, everybody. But again, this is going to give cover, everyone. This is going to give cover to Republicans to come out in support of Liz Cheney's position and impeach Trump. And the House Republican leadership has said that tomorrow's impeachment vote is, I quote, a vote of conscience for its members, meaning that they can pretty much do what they want. And those who vote against impeachment tomorrow will, by extension, publicly confirm that their lack of conscience, if you will. Now, Liz Cheney is not the only one. John Katko, everyone. John Katko is also another Republican. So I just want to confirm that John Katko is a congressman from New York. He also released a statement. In fact, here, let's show you John Katko's statement right here on your screen. Okay, so this right here, let me make sure you folks can see the entire statement. Okay, this is a statement from John Katko all right, who's a Republican congressman. To impeach a sitting president is a decision I do not take lightly. The US Constitution outlines its use only when a high crime or misdemeanor has occurred. As a former federal prosecutor, I approached the question of impeachment by reviewing the facts at hand. The facts are this. Last week, the US Capitol was attacked by a mob intent on disrupting a joint session of Congress and preventing certification of the Electoral College results. Consequently, the US Capitol Police were overrun. Insurrectionists stormed and vandalized the US Capitol, and people were hurt, and there were people who didn't make it. There were fatalities, and so just hard to even read some of this stuff. It cannot be ignored that President Trump encouraged this insurrection both on social media ahead of January 6th and in his speech that day by deliberately promoting baseless theories suggesting the election was somehow stolen. He created a combustible environment of misinformation, disenfranchisement, and division. When this manifested in violent acts on January 6th, he refused to comply and forcefully call it off, putting countless lives in danger. This is actually true that more and more lives were put in danger because of the paralysis, because of the hesitation, if you will, or just because I guess he didn't care. It's pretty obvious. And so let's get back to the statements from the congressman. He said, "We took oaths to defend the Constitution because at times it needs to be defended. Without the peaceful transfer of power and the acknowledgement of election results, we cannot sustain our political system. Congress is tasked with holding the executive accountable. As a ranking member of the House Homeland Security Committee, country always comes first. To allow the President of the United States to incite this attack without consequence is a direct threat to the future of our democracy. For that reason, I cannot sit by without taking action. I will vote to impeach this president. The divide in our country is more clear than ever before. I hear my Republican colleagues in their argument that impeachment only further divides our country at a time when we must move forward. I agree. There must be a continuance of government and a peaceful transition of power. But I also believe firmly that I must follow the law and the facts and hold this president accountable for his actions. Finally, ahead of tomorrow's vote on impeachment, the House will this evening consider a non binding resolution requesting that the Vice President invoke the 25th Amendment to remove this president. Vice President Pence has made clear he will not do this and believes elected representatives should be tasked with this effort, not acting and remaining cabinet members. Accordingly, I will not support this effort. Pretty incredible, everyone. That's where things stand right now. Wow. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. By the way, one more thing. I did release a video on my channel where I did actually highlight. Let me show you that video. I highlighted the fact that that there has been reporting that all Trump did was watch. Also, I released a video talking about what I consider to be the brainwashing of individuals by platforms like Twitter that are used by personalities and instigators. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I strongly recommend that you check out that video as well. Just folks, again, we live in very unusual times, and this is breaking news. And by the way, I did also release a video on the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who basically said that he supports this. Again, let's get back to your screen right here. Again, and here, let me put myself up on the screen. Okay, you'll see here that tonight's events will. And by the way, this is Mike DeBonis, and Mike DeBonis is with the is a very well known reporter. Let's take a look at Mike DeBonis's profile. He covers Congress for the Washington Post, and he says tonight's events will redound for days, weeks, years. A major party schism is happening in real time. And by the way, I'll retweet this. By the way, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter, because this way you'll know in real time what I'm reading, what I'm thinking. So please follow me on Twitter to get real-time breaking news and alerts. Can McCarthy, Scalise, Cheney remain on the same leadership team? How far will McConnell go to encourage a split with Trump? What happens to Fox News? What happens to voters? And again, Liz Cheney is the most powerful woman in Washington. So folks, definitely follow me on Twitter, because this way you'll know what I'm thinking, what I'm reading in real time. So make sure that you go to Twitter and you follow me, because our Twitter community is growing very rapidly. So that's where things stand, everybody. I do appreciate you watching, and I'm on a lighter note. I'm going to leave you with an important message, so make sure you watch this message. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. We live in very, very unusual times. My goal is to try and help you make sense of this unbelievable world that we live in. Here's a little bit more information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Now, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter because you'll learn instantly in real time what I'm reading, what I'm thinking, because I'm on Twitter quite a lot. So definitely follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, as well as my Twitter handle, I discuss matters that are important to the country, matters that are important to the economy, and matters that are important to your money. This is an incredible, incredible climate that we live in, and I want to help you make sense of this unbelievable world around us. Now, remember, we release videos on a daily basis, so make sure you subscribe to our channel, make sure you enable notifications, and make sure you please give me a like because that tells the YouTube algorithm that you found this content helpful. Now, keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time when I release new videos. That's just the way the algorithm works. So all you need to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the homepage of our channel and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get exclusive news and alerts on Instagram. Remember, follow us on Twitter because you'll get real-time alerts on Twitter. Our Twitter community is growing very rapidly. In fact, I've been receiving notifications on my phone as I've been recording this that our Twitter followers are growing, and more of our fellow citizens are following me on Twitter. So definitely follow me on Twitter. Once again, the Twitter handle is ignition_time. One of the things I'm especially proud about is our community, not just here on YouTube, but also on Twitter. Please comment below, engage with our community, engage in a healthy, a respectful, a bipartisan debate, because if there's one thing we need as a country right now, it's a healthy, respectful debate. More understanding, more respectful engagements, as opposed to just arguing all the time and being at odds with one another. So I encourage you to comment below. Just comment below and let us know what you think of the content in this video and your thoughts on matters that are relevant to the country, relevant to the economy, and relevant to your money. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, you'll get a link in the description section below. In many cases, multiple links in the description section below, so you can learn more about our news sources and you can dig deeper into those news sources on your own if you choose to. Finally, please share this video with 2 friends or family members. That's all I ask. Please share the video with 2 friends or family members so that we can grow our community. Again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really, really appreciate that. I know that this kind of information, I know that the intense environment we live in is not a laughing matter, it's not a dancing matter, but I want to try and give you the news and give you the truth wherever it might lead us. That is my goal with the Ignition Time community. In the end, when all of this craziness is behind us, like I've said before, I want it to be raining money. I want there to be lots and lots of money, whether it's through stimulus, whether it's through a job, whether it's through a side gig, whether it's through your own business. I want it to be raining money. I want us to be happy. I want us to be smiling. I want us to be smiling. I want us to be in a party mode. I want there to be confetti everywhere. I want us to get this craziness, this unbelievable madness behind us, and one day we will, because I believe we'll end up stronger from this crisis. And one day, when all this craziness is behind us, we'll be dancing. And I'll be breakdancing because I have pretty bad breakdancing skills. And here's the rope. It was pretty hard to pull that imaginary rope. So that's it, everybody. I hope we get through this together. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for putting up with my skills. Here's one more. Watch this. That was me pulling the imaginary rope towards the camera. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. So folks, listen, I have another breaking news alert, everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. Okay, this is major, everybody. Let's check this out together. Let me make sure I align myself nicely so you guys can see me nice and clear. You like this? But anyway, folks, so this is important. This is the thinking by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Let me just move this over so you folks can see it. Okay, So, folks, here's what's going on. This is the thinking by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell that now, here, let me just move this just a moment, just getting the alignment right. This is the thinking by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now is the time to make the move with Trump staggering right now after the ridiculous, unbelievable sequence of events. I mean, honestly, folks, uh, not even sure why we waited this long, but honestly, this is the moment that McConnell is thinking. Now is the time to make the move with Trump staggered. As far as this is reporting from Jonathan Martin from the New York Times. As stunning as the Republicans' move against Trump would be, the alternative is that he sticks around and makes their life very difficult for the next 4 years at least. If it's going to happen now, it'll be a clean break and it'll look pretty attractive. And guys, this also is breaking news. Guys, you get 2 breaking news alerts from me. I'm about to give you one more piece of breaking news. And are you ready for it? There's one more piece of breaking news. And folks, here's the big piece of breaking news. A Senate Republican aide has just confirmed to Jonathan Martin from the New York Times that they expect to get 20 Republicans who are open to a conviction. Guys, they need 66 or more Republicans. That's a 2/3 majority in the Senate. 66 or more, you get a 2/3 majority in the United States Senate. If you have 50 Democrats, or let's just say 48 Democrats, is I believe a couple of independents, and you get 20. I'm not going to get hung up in the numbers here, but it looks like 48 plus 2 plus 20 is 70. That's more than 66. Okay, so just so that you know, 70 is more than 66. If 20 Senate Republicans are in favor of a conviction, Donald Trump will have the dubious distinction of being the first president, hopefully the last president in the history of the United States to be impeached by the House and convicted by the Senate, and then they would have to pass another vote, essentially preventing him from running for future office. So, folks, this does look like it's very likely to happen. You'll see this on your screen. Again, this is reporting from Jonathan Martin from the New York Times. The Senate Republican aide tells me they have about 20, give or take, Republicans who are open to the impeachment. So, folks, this impeachment is looks like this is something that is definitely happening. Everybody, impeachment, and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Yeah, here's another tweet on your screen. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hates, I quote, hates President Trump for what he did last week following the incidents in the U.S. Capitol, because that was just highly irresponsible. And folks, it's very clear that the dam is breaking right now. Everybody, the dam is breaking. If 20 or more Senate Republicans are ready to convict Trump, we could see not only the House impeaching Trump, which I think will happen tomorrow, but we could see a Senate trial before the inauguration. And if the Senate trial is after the inauguration, guess what? There'll be 2 more Democratic senators, Jon Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock from Georgia. So if there are 20 Republican senators, based on this reporting from Jonathan Martin of the New York Times. And let's not forget, and I did mention that at the start of this video, Liz Cheney, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, okay? She is the most powerful Republican Congresswoman in the United States. She said that she's going to vote to impeach the president, and that is where things stand right now. Just things continue to get crazier and crazier, and you can depend on me to bring you the actual news, the real news as it emerges. I want you to know that I appreciate you all. I'll keep you posted. Hang in there. One day we will get through this and I will be there with you. Please make sure that you click like. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Let me one more time, folks, show you my Twitter handle, because if you follow me on Twitter, you're going to get breaking news and alerts. You'll know what I'm thinking. You'll actually be able to see what I'm reading as well. This is our Twitter community, which is growing very rapidly. My phone's been blowing up because more and more individuals are joining me on Twitter as we speak. So, folks, that's all the news. The dam is breaking for Trump, and as we speak, we're starting to see the fallout happen in real time. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you like the channel, and I'll be talking to you all soon. Here's an important message, and a custom tune that's custom to our channel, specially prepared for our channel with a little bit of trivia about me so we get to know each other better. I hope you like this.